Good morning. Hi, I'm Austin Crew. I'm a member of the Meta Motivators 4-H Club. From the field to the tank, ethanol, what a gas. Today I will be talking about ethanol and my recent trip to the ethanol plant in Edmondsburg. My goals for today's presentation are to define ethanol, to explain how ethanol is made, to learn the co-products of ethanol fuel production, and to review the common ethanol fuel blends. Ethanol is alcohol. Ethanol is used in some motor fuels produced by non-renewable resources such as corn. It is most commonly known as grain alcohol. Ethanol is by far the most widely produced renewable resource in the U.S. today. Approximately 13.9 billion gallons was produced in 2011. It is in over 90% of the gas in the U.S. Here are the location of ethanol plants in the U.S. As you can see, there are a lot of ethanol plants located in the Midwest section, and that is because there is the most corn there. Where does it come from? Majority of ethanol is made from corn, but it can also be made from agricultural residue, grain sorghum, wheat, barley, and potatoes. How it's made. Step 1. Milling. The feedstock passes through a hammer mill, which grinds it into a fine powder called flour. Step 2. Fermentation. Enzymes and water are then added to convert the starch into glucose, or simple sugars. Yeast is added to the mash to convert the sugars to ethanol and carbon dioxide. The mash is continually agitated and cooled until the ethanol concentration reaches its max. Step 3. Distillation. The fermented mash, called beer, is about 20% alcohol plus solids from the corn and yeast cells. The mash is pumped into the distillation where the ethanol is removed from the solids and the water. The ethanol leaves the top of the final column at about 95% concentration. The rest, called stillage, is moved from the base of the column to the co-product processing area. Step 4. Dehydration. Alcohol is then dehydrated to 200 proof, or 100% ethanol. Then it is blended with a deterrent, a gasoline-based product, so the alcohol can't be drunk, and to prevent it from being taxed as affordable alcohol. Step 5. Co-products. After removing the ethanol, the residue corn solids are dried and condensed to produce distilled dried grains with solubles, or DDGS for short, a nutritious animal feed. InBiz, another co-product, is an alternative to petroleum-based films, packagings, coatings, and glazes. It is taken from DDGS. Carbon dioxide is another co-product. Some plants capture the carbon dioxide released from the yeast during fermentation. It is then sold to customers throughout the Midwest for use in food processing, water treatment, fighting fires, and agriculture. Fuels. A percentage of ethanol is added to gasoline, to unleaded gasoline. Examples are E10, 10% ethanol, 90% unleaded. E15 is 15% ethanol, 85% unleaded. 85 is 85% ethanol, 15% unleaded. E10 can be used in any make or model of car in the U.S. More than 90% of American gasoline contains some ethanol, mainly E10. E15 is available for use in these vehicles: 2001 and newer cars, light-duty trucks, and SUVs. They are all flexible fuel vehicles, or FFVs. You cannot use E15 in these vehicles. Here's a list of the ones you cannot use E15 in, but basically it's motorcycles, ATVs, buses, off-road vehicles, and snowmobiles. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, warns that use of E15 in unapproved vehicles and engines is prohibited by federal law. 85 is an alternative fuel for use in flexible fuel vehicles. There are currently more than 8.5 FFVs on American roads today. Cellulosic ethanol. Ethanol can also be made from cellulose, a non-corn material. It makes the same fuel as ethanol made from corn. The future of cellulosic ethanol. Cellulose is the world's most abundant organic compound. In partnership with Royal DSM of the Netherlands, Poet DSM, Advanced Biofuels plans to open a plant in ethanol to produce cellulosic fuel. It is called Project Liberty in 2013. Project Liberty's feedstock will be corn crop residue, cobs, leaves, and some stalk. The disadvantages of cellulosic ethanol. It is expensive to take out of the field. It uses diesel fuel to take out of the field. It costs money to transport cellulose to plant and to ship out. It takes much more product to produce the same amount of ethanol compared to corn. Corn is good for your car, corn is good for the economy, and corn is good for you. For more info on cellulosic fuel, here are a couple of websites you can go to. And that's a picture of me and the ethanol plant in Emmitsburg. In summary, ethanol is defined as an alcohol made from either corn or cellulose. Ethanol is made through a process of breaking down sugars and dehydration. Co-products include animal feed, carbon dioxide, and an alternative to petroleum-based products. It is added to fuel to produce efficiency and to help our environment. Here are my resources. And this is a picture of me and BJ Shaney learning about ethanol, and he gave me this cool hat. Any questions?
Gallons of ethanol is produced out of a bushel of corn.
The question was, how many gallons of ethanol was produced with a bushel of corn? It's just under 3 gallons. Any more questions? Yes?
You know how many, in your research, how many ethanol plants are in Iowa?
The question was, in my research, how many plants are in Iowa? I'm not really sure how many, but I know there is a ton because there's a lot of corn in Iowa and they have them all over. Any other questions? Thank you for your attention.